Now, before we begin in this sermon, I need to share my new babies. Now, this is a rose bonsai plant. It's about 10 years old, and you can create essential oils. The petals of the rose bush is highly in minerals, vitamin A, vitamin C, and so on and so forth. Yes, this is why I'm growing all my plants in life, death, and rebirth. So you start from a seed, you go to putting it outside, and then the sun does its deal, photosynthesis does its deal, then you bring it back inside and you dry it out, voila, that's death. So there's life, birth, rebirth, death, the trilogy of life. Now, my second new baby is I have Camellia sinensis, and that is the green tea plant, because I make cold brew green tea with hibiscus, which is jamaica. Jamaica brings down high blood pressure. So you put the two together, you put it in your gallon of water, pop it in the fridge, and boom, you got your drink every morning for a week. Okay? Now, this is such a beautiful plant. And as you can see, there are little buds. I don't know if you can really see it, but the little buds are popping. It's kind of like, looks like somebody's grafting the leaves on it. It's funny. But that's the way a sucker grows. But it loves the sun. These must be in sun. So, these are my two newest babies. And these are air plants right here. And that means they cleanse the air. I love them because they don't need dirt. Isn't life grand? They grow in the rainforest. So these are tropical plants that I have. And I think it's really awesome because they're going to help me breathe. And what is the point of plant life on Earth? To help humans heal. Hello? And everybody's taking away the plant life. Dude, what world do you plan on living in? Stuffed up sinus, you can't breathe, you can't swallow, and really? The increments just keep following. So what do? You got to stay one step ahead of the government, and you create your own kosher motif. And yes, I coined that phrase, kosher, balance, motif, lifestyle. Okay, so these are air plants, and what I did was I took the fake moss. Yeah, okay, those are called, anything can be called a dust collector. And being a professional landscaper of 30 plus years, everything is a dust collector, all right? Dust is not my friend because I had sinus cancer. What can I say? The cancer was eating the bone in the middle of my head. Yeah, it's sinus cancer. One of 3 different cancers I've had in my life. Anyways, moving on. Now, this is rolled moss, which is appropriate for the air plant. Now, the air plant basically is grown in the tropics, which means it needs humidity, it needs moisture. Okay, they're very pretty. I love the different colors, and I have 7 of them. They're pretty, and that's what you want. You want to create the ambience in tranquility, in serenity in your homes. You're bringing the outdoor in and utilizing it in a specific manner. That's what life is all about. When you're staying a step ahead of everyone else because you're creating your own sanctuary. Okay, here we go. And let us begin. Unispiritual Muse coming to you through one spiritual love, spirituality in a modern world. Today is 2023, January 14, and that equals a 4. The number 4 represents work. Guess what? It's a 4-letter word. Just like life is a 4-letter word. What's that mean? Work is life, life is work. Hey, get with the program in your life path. This is your sermon today. Getting with the program, it's obvious to wake up now and get with the program. It is easy to understand that everyone believes you live in your reality. It's okay to be gullible, that you live in a subliminal brainwashing atmosphere. You were born in reality. That means being bred for a certain path in life. All animal species are bred to a certain pedigree in human existence. It is easy to understand this human behavioral pattern that human is inbred with. It's easy to, when you, like me, having 25 years of college, 6 college degrees, 16 certificates and diplomas, and 2 doctor degrees. One of those college degrees is behavioral science anthropology. Simply, you document your findings after college and publish your findings through human behavioral patterns. I have been doing this for over 35 plus years, plus working as a primate caretaker, and I was born into a family of Wiccan. Yep, I got the best of 3 worlds. Talk about a unique experience, like, wow, that's God for, thanks God for this wonderful blessing of vision. Plus, born beyond an empath into the realms of wizardry with much 3 Ps. 3 Ps is patience, practice, and persistence. With the 3 Ps, you hone in on your birth skills and surpass your own existence and step into the reality past what many call the Matrix. It's a lovely world. Excuse me. It's a lovely world when you can see through the predictions how someone is gearing their life into the matrix of what everyone says, does, and thinks. Key point, your mom tells you when you're growing up, if everyone jumped off of a bridge, would you? You are hilarious to me. You all, the human race, is absolutely hilarious. Just like if someone tells you to stop doing what you're doing and do it this way, of how to get rich or make money, but yet they are poor. Are you really going to listen to them? I see this constantly and shake my head back and forth in the no fashion. They know not what they do. As they follow that person, things are not working out and they get frustrated. They say to their own self, no one understands. So they turn to substance to help ease the pain and frustration. Guess what? They are now living in the land of optical illusion called psychosomatic wishful thinking utopia. Who would have ever thought something so simple could become so complicated? You all are too much. The belly laughs are constantly rolling. Do you take pity on the person because they do not know how to live in the realms of reality? Reality is not the dogma of what everyone else says, does, and thinks. It's straight up subliminal brainwashing in 3D, third dimension, the human brain. I watched a video once of a doctor presenting his findings to his colleagues in a university classroom setting. He presented his findings in video presentation and his students. He placed caps on the students, and the caps are connected to wires to a machine. The machine would display different colors as to relate to the neuron activities in which part of the human brain. His question was, why do writers have writer's block and autistic humans are very creative? That's straight up legit question. His findings show that the writer's block comes from the frontal lobe of the human brain. Well, that's obvious. Obvious comes from the frontal lobe of the human brain. That is 3D, third dimension, practical, down to earth, common sense. No rocket science there. That is logic in 4D, fourth dimension. You are funny in a non-reality way of thinking. Is there any hope for humanity? The doctor's findings show the temporal lobe is the creative part of the human brain. Well, of course it is. It's not rocket science, folks. That is logic in the 4D, fourth dimension. The fifth dimension is the temporal lobe of the human brain. The frontal lobe is 3D, third dimension. That is the reality you live in the subliminal brainwashing. The brainwashing comes from the internal and external self. That's logic, not rocket science. The fifth dimension is the human mind. Why in the world do humans present through assuming in life things are only one way instead of understanding the particles? Here we go again. You are hilarious. Oh my goodness. A parent teaches a child what love is instead of what love that child needs, simply because perception is perceiving one's own truth. How can you teach what you have not learned? My goodness. I truly wonder if human species will actually evolve, or will the human species perish, same as many other species have ceased to exist. Until you step in the realms of reality, and that is 4D, fourth dimension, your life will keep playing havoc in your world, and this is obviously your desire. That's where y'all want to live, in the world of havoc. My, oh, me, oh, my. Stepping into the phase that I created called kosher motif. Kosher is balance, motif is lifestyle. I've tried 2 times to teach reconnecting self to 2 different colleges. Basically, I was told we don't teach self-love. In my mind, that meant that part of the world must be perfect. They do not have any problems of substance abuse. Wow, what a utopia world that exists there. Really? My goodness. I am a reverend of divine energy. My specialty is spiritual healing, spiritual counseling, and spiritual teaching. Plus, I have a degree in behavioral science anthropology. I bring the best of both worlds together to help human beings and all beings on earth. I have 30 plus years in study, research, plus experience in human behavioral patterns, with a degree in behavioral science, as most people would work in either a clinic or a hospital, helping people with chemical dependency. That makes no sense to me whatsoever, simply because there are way too many people that have come into my life for years with substance abuse. Now, why in the world would I want to live in their world through chemical dependency and a personal life and a job of people living in chemical dependency? How in the world does that make any sense whatsoever? When I get my downtime and live with someone in a chemical dependency, when in the world do I get a break? Seriously, what world do you people live in, helping other people with chemical dependency, and you live with all the drama in your own life because people are on chemical dependency? My goodness, humans are bewildering. And I always say, if it's not weird and bizarre in my world, it doesn't exist. Welcome to my world. Then humans wonder why some people go deep in and go postal. Let's just flip out the gun and pop everybody. Seriously? What world do you humans live in? People do this because they were trained in school to get a job. Humans are mere robots living in the mindscape of others, simply because that human is afraid to be their own self. That is what I spiritually teach through my metaphysical healing art workshop. Learning to be who they were meant to become in this lifetime is their path from life path to soul path. I spiritually teach to reconnect mind, body, emotion, spirit into one love, self-love. It is understanding the 4 quadrants and personality in the 4 bodies of being that create the core of being. The core is the teacher to the spirit that is the student. The spirit is the teacher to the human that is the student. I am Reverend Dr. Juanita Lewis, DDIV, PhD, CSBO, CFP, CRP, CMLC, behavioral scientist, veteran holistic nutritionist of 30 plus years, metaphysician, non-direct practitioner, alternative doctor, professional landscaper of 30 plus years, and third different cancer survivor. God keeps sending me back to earth because I have a job to do in this lifetime. It is my purpose to guide all into healing. My website is onespiritcallove.com. My podcast is onespiritcallove.blog. My YouTube channel is Metaphysical Healing Art at One Spiritual Love. And life is love. Love is life. Blessings from Reverend Lewis. Thank you for your support. And on another side note, I forget a lot of the things I do because I always have umpteen more projects than one life person could have, because I'm going to do more in one lifetime than most people do in 10 lifetimes. Simply because I'm not coming back to do the same song and dance again. I'm doing it in another life path. Now, in my art, illustrations for my children's book, Fractalmology 5-in-1, you can find that on Amazon, is the Yala. Yala I painted. It is the soul that turns into the spirit as it transcends into Shawanisha, which is the main character in the children's book. Now, Yala, that starts out as a soul, the center is the Greek symbols for universe changes. Universe transcends. That's what that is. And then as you go on, this is the drawing. And then as you go through, the soul is now transforming into the spirit when the soul enters Shawanisha in the book. Now that's what this is right here. So Yala is always in my pictures when I do my videos and pictures and stuff. And then what happens is when Yala goes into the tree to keep an eye on everybody, and this is Frixie. Frixie is a cross between my mind just went blank. Between a pixie and a fairy. So as most things, you got the good and the bad, positive, negative. So Frixie is the cross between good and bad, because Frixie is there keeping an eye on Shawanisha. This is when Mom and Dad kiss and the lights come on, because now Shawanisha is being born into this house. So this is the tree, and it's a fractal tree, and all my characters are fractal characters from the spirit realm. Now you can find my art on ArtPal Unispirical. And then when it becomes fully bloomed, this is Yala. And in the future, I'm in the process of writing Yala Lifestyle Cookbook. And you can see how it all like illuminates. Isn't life grand? So you can find my art on Unispirical Muse. And have a fantastic day. Blessings all.